Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. So Chinese names with a short squeeze taking place. We'll check in on that. We also had the bulls holding on for the majority of the day, but the last 30 minutes really changed the picture of the day. We'll look at that big turnaround. Before we get to the charts, we are doing our end of the year course sale. So any of our two courses for $180 combined, and you don't need a special code or anything. We just set things up so that is the way it is at checkout. And you can click the link in the pinned comments of this YouTube video to take you to that page. So today was really a good example of showing opportunity in the morning and opportunity into the close and very little in between. This is the S&P 500. You can see we had a little volatility in the morning with some upside, nothing for 4 hours. And then the end of the day really shaped the day. And if you look at that daily candle, it looks like, okay, bears controlled the day after a resistance rejection or a break with no follow through. But really only zooming in, do you see it was the 30 minutes at the end of the day that really dictated everything. So where do we stand from here? For me, it's essentially some failed bull flags at the moment. That shows me that bulls are still tired and we perhaps need some more significant consolidation. We know the consolidation we've seen to this point has been very minimal on a ton of our major ETFs. So looking at SPY, that all-time high was up at 478.81 and we topped out at 479. So a break of 19 cents into a break of the double bottom. So again, watching that daily consolidation, but for me, bull flag is on the table as long as daily EMA 12 is support and really beyond that, but I want to keep it simple, daily EMA 12. So keeping an eye on that. And we know SPY has not come close to hourly. Well, I guess at the end of the day, it did come close. So it came close to hourly oversold, got right down to it into the end of the day. And if it were earlier in the day, again, I am interested in first hourly oversold conditions on some of these stronger individual stocks as well as the ETFs, but not when it's at the close like that. So we'll see how we shape up tomorrow, but we may be in for some more pullback. Looking at the the NASDAQ futures chart, pretty much a daily inside bar, double top at the high of yesterday. Looking at QQQ, we broke the high of yesterday, but only by 50 some cents. And still a potential daily bull flag, but tried to break resistance, didn't have enough momentum and juice to do so, staying fairly range bound with yesterday's range. SMH pulled back more convincingly under the low of yesterday. That hourly RSI is approaching oversold. Again, not there yet, but close. And if we look at the individual names, NVDA, daily inside bar closing at the low of the day. AMD is pulling back more significantly here, and it is getting to hourly oversold. It did yesterday and it did again today. So AMD is definitely pulling back more significantly on this move. But again, a lot of space for a daily high or low, anything above 133.52. And we're going to anticipate that that daily high or low will be the most likely scenario. Tesla, daily consolidation underway, significant bounce, 1053 to 1095. That's a little 4% bounce. The goal for the bulls is to confirm the hourly trend change back in their favor to set a daily high or low. Daily EMA 12, still support. And again, on the hourly, we're just in a downtrend. So we had the loss of the support, lower high, lower low, lower high. Did we break resistance there? Nope, we just barely failed. That was a nice top fish. And then now the question is, can the bulls hold 1053 and break the high of today to confirm that hourly trend change? Or do we break 1053 and keep this daily pullback going? No hourly oversold conditions yet. So if we do keep this daily consolidation, Tesla's definitely a name that I'm watching for an hourly oversold bounce, scouting a daily high or low. So XLV, we can see a new all-time high, continues to be our lead bull, high or low every single day, 7 days in a row. When that pattern breaks, we're going to scout a daily high or low, and we're going to scout hourly oversold conditions. And again, the last time we got close to hourly oversold, didn't quite get there. We got down into the mid-30s, but that was the best buying opportunity. So again, it'll be a back burner trade, keeping an eye out for first hourly oversold conditions in the healthcare sector. Financial sector, 39.55, 39.49, 39.53. So pretty much a triple top right at that level. And a pullback dropping down to lower lows. And again, I'm just viewing this as a bounce straight off the lows and scouting a daily high or low, anything above 37.21. We had that very brief little pullback. So yes, there is a support level at 38.74, but that is not an important pivot level for me. We could say if that level holds, the bulls keep very strong on the daily, but not a requirement for that level to hold for me in order to set a daily high or low. IWM tried to confirm this daily bull flag. It was our lead bull sector in the majority of today, but failed to break resistance, just barely. 225.73, 225.43, so we failed by 30 cents. And then in the end of the day, again, held up fine all day. Lead bull, we traded pretty range bound, tested the high of the day, and then just rolled over. Gave it all back and closed at the low. So if we drop down and break short-term support of 221.26, we'll certainly say the daily bull flag is being negated, and we'll still be watching for this right shoulder to try and form, but perhaps deeper consolidation. So notable rejection on IWM with that double top for me. Biotech sector, we knew anything under 119.21 was going to be a daily lower high, or is possible to be a daily lower high. And that is because we created more space on this pullback, more than most sectors, which means there is more space for that lower high to form. Again, it was a very strong bull, up 2% plus for the whole sector, but gave that move back into the end of the day. Still technically an hourly uptrend. If we lose the hourly uptrend tomorrow, daily lower high is set, and a break of 111.61 from here would definitely be a red flag for the bulls, just because that would have us looking right back at our recent fear low. So bulls definitely want to hold that level. But again, another day with great volatility. The leveraged ETFs pretty much 5-6% in both directions. So MSOS pointed it out yesterday for the daily trend change attempt. And again, the theme of the last week plus has been our most beat up names in 2021 are seeing nice little relief bounces into the close, potentially due to tax loss harvesting coming to a close. But MSOS is in that group. Daily higher low now set, 24.22. Bulls need to break 25.74. We only broke it by 2 pennies, so that's still a double top, but close to confirming the daily trend change here. And it's notable to me that we did, let's try that again. It's notable to me that we did not dump notably into the close. If you look at the hourly chart, it's still holding on just fine at this point. So keeping an eye on that. And along with that, again, the weakest sector, one of the weakest sectors, starting to try and shift daily momentum. The Chinese names, they have been very crushed all 2021. And you can see today is pretty much one of the most bullish days that we've had on BABA in a long time as far as the volume and the size of the green Marubozu candle. So 108.70 was support, and we held that level at 110.38. We broke daily lower high resistances. The level for me is 129.45. That's the high of the bounce. It's a high, a low, and a high. Look at the close over daily EMA 12 for the first time after a ton of rejections. So it definitely gets our attention. And it was a short squeeze that just did not let up. Bulls kept absolute complete control all morning. 5-minute uptrend for 4.5, 5 hours, and a massive day. And it wasn't just BABA, it was Baidu had the same thing. NIO in the EV space, monster day. So money poured into these Chinese names for the bulls. And we do still need to change the hourly trend. You know, this is a start. We need an hourly trend change to the bulls for follow through, and then we need a daily trend change to the bulls for follow through. But this is definitely getting a lot of attention today. The amount of volume behind this move, the size of the move, the amount of pressure put on shorts. So volatility back in the Chinese names, certainly following a day like today. CCJ, I'm still interested in uranium, and I'm looking to scale in for an entry. So I have an initial entry at 2022, very small position size, and I am patiently waiting for a new level to play off of. If we dip to hourly oversold, I may look to play the hourly oversold bounce, look to sell a partial position into an hourly oversold bounce, and then stick a stop beneath that low. And if that's our daily high or low, then I'll nail the entry. And if not, then I'll stop out of that position. But I'm not just going to scale in here. At this point, I need to see either beat up hourly RSI for a short-term oversold bounce play to do some maneuvering, or a big enough hourly bull move for me to have a nearby support level that I'm playing off of. I don't want to use 20 as a stop if I'm going to add any more position. If I add any more position, I'm going to be using a stop that is more close by and has proven at least something to me that it may be our daily high or low shaping up. Dollar, just a daily inside bar. Again, keeping a close eye to see if this consolidation becomes more significant or if bulls are able to maintain their control. But overall, long story short, the summary for today is Chinese names, huge move. Cannabis space, decent move out there today. And bulls held on for the start of the day, but couldn't follow through and rolled over with a good bit of weakness into the last 30 minutes of trading. So daily consolidation still underway. Daily bull flag still on the table in a lot of places. And we're watching for hourly trend changes back to the bulls to indicate daily higher lows have been established. All right, one more trading day left in the year. Best of luck. Do good things, and we'll see you in 2022. I'll put out a New Year's resolution video, attempt to put it out tomorrow. Check it out. So now we're in Canyonlands National Park, which is just a couple hours away from Arches National Park and near Moab in Utah. They're all fairly centralized as far as road trips go. So this is another great spot. Nice picture. But this is the kind of spot where it's so expansive, and it's hard to believe your eyes when you're looking at it. It's almost like if you were an ant and someone took their hand and put it in some soft sand or some wet sand and left a hand imprint, and that's what you're looking at, because you're up on this overlook and it's just this huge expanse in front of you, but there's these crazy rock formations where water has just carved away over millions of years and eroded. And you could definitely mistaken this for the Grand Canyon in some ways, blurry lizard friend, in a hole. That's a much better camouflage, dude. That's my National Geographic shot of the trip. Good camo. These are those handles, footholds and handholds carved into the sandstone just from usage from the Native Americans thousands of years ago. So really cool to see those still there and to see the paths that they walked on a daily basis. This is where a meteorite crashed, I believe, in the area. And you can see all the different minerals and elements and sand way different there where that crash took place. I want to say that they think this might be the one that took out the dinosaurs, but I don't remember correctly. Gonna have to double check that one, but just a really cool big drop down with some cool colors right off the side of Canyonlands. And there's the rivers carving their way through. And definitely the most epic sunset of the entire trip. Again, just not real. Up to the rocks, it looks real, and then it just looks like a big old painting like they used to do in older movies for backdrops. But yeah, you could watch that every day. There's your meditation. Just sit and watch the sunset for an hour every day. That's all you got to do. So let's see from there. Camped there that night, and the campsite, as far as the park goes, is literally like, a walk away from this overlook. And there was a German family, fairly younger couple. They're probably in their early 40s, and they had a kid with them who was maybe 6 or so. And they were biking from Canada to Mexico. And this was maybe a third of the way there. And they didn't have a spot to camp, and it was just me by myself in my camp spot, and it was the designated sites in a developed camp spot. So they asked if they could join me, and I said, sure. So nice to meet people, as always. There are so many Europeans in our national parks. If you go in the summer to national parks, you're going to be looking at, 90%, maybe that's a lie, 80% Europeans, because the national park system is fairly world-renowned. And the United States, as far as what our government has done, I'd say if you have to mark up, top accomplishments, the national park system is definitely up there. So people come from all over the world. They have all different ethnicities and races. And, walking on popular trails, you hear multiple different languages spoken, and usually nice and very friendly people. And when you're walking on a trail, make eye contact with people and say hello. It's always awkward when you're just staring at the ground and intentionally avoiding eye contact. There's no reason to be afraid. You can smile at strangers. We'll see you tomorrow.